Hi everyone. So today, um, wait a moment, I think. So now it should be fine. Hi everyone. We're gonna continue on neovim development, and yeah, I will fight against my test issues here. Let's see how it goes today. So this is basically where I left off. I have a bunch of test errors here. Where I don't exactly know which functions are called here, but hopefully we will find out. So let's run this little quick in neovim directly in the neovim terminal, because it's easier for me to jump around and navigate from this terminal. This is two of them here, but this one seems like the right one, and it fails here somewhere. So this one should work, right? Let me see. Expected actual. So if this is correct, then we see here expected this one here, but got this too. So this would mean, wait, D8. So this one, and we have one more here. Set match this one. Green lines and columns. Pendant does not match. So this assertion is also failing. So there are basically two which are failing here. wipe. Magic character specified with a decimal number must be followed by a non-digit. Not sure what this is here, to be honest. So what happens if we just comment this part? Just want to see if this somehow change maybe this result here. I'm not sure if this does or not, but yeah, we'll find out. Let's make this bigger a little bit. So test and combine, invalid range. Oh, I see. So this means basically delete everything. So this, the first character is the whole file, right? And D is delete. And then we insert stuff. But maybe this is already the issue. What if we do a new here instead of a delete? Just do it like this. Oh, we don't need it, actually. I need the new, just uncomment this because we have new here and we set it there and then do the rest. I'm trying to find out if kind of this here does an unexpected thing because I've changed how the deletion work with this character ranges, or if it's really somewhere in here in this feed keys. My guess would be this is maybe here. That would mean that this test should succeed now. Let's see. It looks like it, right? Which would mean here that my issue is that this range and the deletion afterwards is not working properly. Right, so we go here, search there. This is the old one. So yeah, it seems like it worked. Test Arabic. Yeah, nice. Okay, then at least I know where the issue is now. Let's see. So we would remove this part here. Uncomment this. Let it as it was. And now we need to find this part in code. And this should be... Where was that? Let's see if I have some markers. So let's try this out here. Okay. So X commands, maybe here. There were somewhere a list or an array with mappings to the default commands. I don't remember where it was. Hi Elsa, I don't care. I don't want to buy anything from you. Thank you. But no, thank you. was it options? No. Yeah, that's here. Operators, and then what it does, right? Is this the one? I saw something like this. So it was list like this one. Let's just search maybe for this stuff. Like this, but with an X. Hey. With an X in it. And like this. This is the one. Normal. Yeah. Sure. Is this the same? No. This D should be delete, right? So if we do this, delete, boom. Okay. So this should be an X command 2 maybe. X delete. No. X commands C. Delete. Del only. Do shall no. Normal C. Del. Find. To check. Normal handle special characters. No. So was it neovim command? Just confusing some concepts, I think. This neovim command, delete range. So actually there is one function that parses the command from here, like if I write this, parses into this command structure that we saw before. Yeah, sorry. And then it does this neovim command. Neovim command. This one. So let's see. Executes an X command. Unlike neovim command, this command takes a structure dict instead of a string. This allows for easier construction and manipulation of X command. This also allows for things such as having spaces inside a command argument, expanding file names in a command that otherwise doesn't expand file names, etc. Command arguments may also be number, boolean, or string. So this is neovim cmd, and we have also neovim command. Let's see if this is still somewhere in here. Okay. So the question here is, to me actually, is this ever executed anywhere? So this is the old function to execute a command. Execute a simple command used for translated commands like star. So we get the command here. Get line cookie only the command, and there's 2 here. We do command line. So this is something I changed, I guess. It was here. This is what I changed here. Should be. This should be fine. I guess. Do command 9. Then I changed there. So what we could check is the sub here, if I just remove this too. This is also what I changed here because I thought it's needed to pass the columns here for this char selection stuff. But maybe it breaks the old behavior. That's why I want to test it here. Oops. So the Arabic test here fails again. Which means to me it is wrong here. If you just remove both of them here. Command line copy can change in before this. Go again here. Do this do command line execute one x command line. Execute command line when it is not null. If command line is null or more lines are needed, fget line is used. Split up in parts separated with pipe. This function can be called recursively. If repeating a line in a loop, get a line from lines GA. No line given, get an allocated line. Yeah, I'm wondering how this works if we do this here. It should be just find file. Find here in file and character. Where was this? This was where we parse the commands. Sits in command here. Parse command line. Parse command address. So I was searching for was this part here actually. And when we go in the loop here, this would work for all lines here. There's ++ on the command, so we remove this character, right? And then we switch on address type, lines or other. Where do we get this? This is case address type. actually, it's column 0. Column 2 is length. It's 0 based. If I don't if I remember correctly, it's 0 based here. The lines are 1 based, but column should be 0 based. And there we have also something like this. +1. Get buffer length +1. +1 if if it also means carriage return. If we want to include carriage return. Just trying to find other places where we calculate column for the current line. Okay, let's try actually with and what we get there. After this change. So what we changed here was only column 0 here. It's not including the null character there. So the last one. I guess it's needed there. Oops. Ah, but it's already solved this issue here. is good. Let me go here and add it back. This still does not fail. And we will try to resolve other issues one by one. So it's fine. Let's also run the other test, functional tests. They take much longer. But they are easier to read, I think. The output is much nicer for this new tests. Can take a while here. So I could also search for a column 2 or column 1 or 1, 1, 2 equal 1. Column 1 equal. So I think there is no no default column set wrongly, because initially I thought that this also one based as the line numbers are, but this is not the case. So then this kind of the fix for that here. This also stage these two things. I'm not sure this is the right approach. So 25 failing tests. This is much lower than it was before, so kinda fixed many of the tests with only those couple of changes. Quite nice. But still there are some. Here, maybe we go to the top. Should be only 25, right? So skipped tests. 25 and 17 errors. Just delete this debug stuff here. Come back. So that we don't see this. Things I think they are from previous runs. I think this is from today. But this could be, actually. Could be. If we read the timestamp, it's from a couple of minutes. So this could be from this run. I sometimes had this issue that there were things left from previous runs. So 17 errors. Clipboard spec. Clipboard with fake clipboard vim with clipboard unnamed is updated on global changes. Invalid range on delete. Here also invalid range. I saw some of these errors already, also in the old tests. That we have invalid range exception on put. So here, 17 errors. We start with this buffer updates spec. API buffer events when lines are replaced. On Vim delete. So go. So this is quite nice. A key combination. If you do G and big F, it tries also to read this part here behind the file path here, because after the file path there is usually something that states at which line in this file the error is, and for stuff like C and yes, a couple of other presentations or formats are included in neovim directly, so it recognizes this part here and jumps directly to this line. So G, big F, you see it's now on 327. Neat, right? Small trick, but it's really handy. Okay. And if we go back, states invalid range on delete. Let's take here edit or edit original true. What does this mean? If no lines, then lines rich lines. Okay. So predefined lines. Load up the file with the correct contents clear and open activate lines. Okay. Which means true here, right? And it gives back B and tick. B tick. This tick here. Change tick. What is the value of change tick? What is change tick? Find and help. Change tick. Quick fix. Change tick. The total number of changes. Okay, let's open up this in a new buffer. The total number of changes to the current buffer. It is incremented for each change. An undo command is also a change in this case. Resetting modified when writing the buffer is also counted. This can be used to perform an action only when the buffer has changed. Okay. Interesting. So, okay, we get the buffer and we get the ticks here. And then every time we do something here, we increase the tick. Blast away parts of some lines with visual mode. Expect the next message to be the specified notification event. Notification equal name arc. Next message. Next message. Session next message timeout. Buffer line events. Arcs. Name arcs notification is buff lines event. When the buffer text between first line and the last line and exclusive zero indexed were changed to the new text in the line data list. The granularity is a line. If a single character is changed in the editor, the entire line is sent. Buffer update events. API clients can attach to neovim buffers to subscribe to buffer update events. This is similar to to text changed, but more powerful and granular. Okay. So, okay, this here means we're reading the next event, right? And saying that we expect this to happen. So, okay, I guess this is here where it fails. Oops. We were here. Right. 327. Invalid range. Or delete. So wait here. Here we are. Yeah. Hi, Gunfire. Thank you. You are my only viewers, I guess. Here it means actually global line, where it match line 3 or 5, I guess. I'm not entirely sure, but I think so. Let's just take this part here. We will try this out, what the command actually does. So do this, and now we go back here, and we will execute this one directly here. So 3 and 5. Yeah, that's what I thought. This is basically saying it should match line, right? And one of these characters here. So it's 3 or 5. And then we do a delete. And I changed the way it worked there. Because I wanted to have the possibility to select stuff here. And doing this one, let's actually write this. But when we select things, let's say this one, global line, let's say line 3, 5, right? And we'll delete. So this worked. Without this range, this range issue that we get there. Invalid range. So for the beginning, we just copy this part and make function test. We need to set the filter here actually. Oops. So we replaced the test file here, the variable, so that we don't have to run every test. It's just a little bit faster then. And we need also to replace the test name actually. What's this called when lines are replaced like this? So this should run the right test now. Nope. Let's copy this. So yeah, it runs the same test and we get the proper error. So yeah, now I can iterate on this test and trying to fix it. Don't need this anymore. So also X commands. Execute command on lines marked with MLZ mark. So global X. This one. There should be issue should be somewhere here. X42, this is not the right place. Type G match. Global busy. Global execute on execute here. So this is the place where it's actually executed. It's the wrong one. Wait. Here. I was jumping to the wrong place. Execute global. This is the command that we execute in this test, right? And somehow we pass here wrong range, as it seems. Invalid range for the delete command. So somewhere here we need to decide, I guess, what we do. And we do a regex here. Get the limiter, skip the limiters if there is one. Remember start of pattern. Skip regex expressions. So search here. Search reg comp. Translate search pattern for Vim. Reg comp. Pattern repo, used pattern reg match. Vim regex reg multi. So maybe this is wrong here. Not max column. Could it be? So it's either here or it's either here. When is global busy? Set current position only once for a global command. If global busy is set, the C mark will not do anything. If there's an error, global busy will be incremented. What's PC mark? Set the previous context mark to the current position and add it to the jump list. Set when global is executing. And when is the else case here? Set marks for each not matching line. Don't get the difference here, actually. So when global is not busy, I'm pretty confused with the namings here of the functions. We have X global, we have global XC, when nesting the command works on one line, this allows for found, not found. Will increment global busy to break out of the loop. So we try this part here and here also. Then we will see. Is still in wallet range. I thought for the regex multi-match stop column. So this could be Mark's line, I thought at least. So this is implemented in two passes. First, we scan the file for the pattern and set a mark for each line that not matches. Scan the file for pattern and set a mark for each line that matches or not matches. Secondly, we execute the command for each line that has a mark. This is required because after deleting lines, we do not know where to search for the next match. Okay, so we mark them. This is kind of clear here. When we have a match, Set marked line lump. So this should be okay then. Even if with the previous implementation. Because I think for marking, matching, should be fine. No change here. We mark them, and then we have the second pass. So we could do this also with a debugger. So gdb equals 1. And now let's go back here. Let's set a breakpoint here. Open the debugger. Wait. Restart session. Terminate session. Touch to admin. This was the right one. And now next. Okay, then we have this here, and let's see what's the values are here. So this is the eep command here. Char line 35. And let's here command. Command is delete. So line 1 to line 6, column 0 to column 15. Now we need to find the test actually. Here, this was the one. Here, and we have the origin lines. 6 lines. $15. 0 based. So should be okay then. So we jump here because we execute the command, the delete command on lines marked. Let's do here. While got int first marked. So how does this work? Got int. Global busy. Alt L count. Okay, let's see, what do we have in line number here? It's 3. So if we go back here, 3 and 5, so 3. And let's see in column 1, in column 2. $16 here. Because we also count the new line. Okay. I don't see actually where it fails. So this is where we execute one X command for specific line. So which means delete would be executed here. At least I think. So sub EA sub EA. Why is column 2 here? 0. So this is actually wrong like that, right? So we need here line 1, EA, line 2. See what EA is here. Okay, EA is also 1. How could that be? Let's do this and move on. Let's restart again. It seems like we are losing some information here in the process. Maybe I forgot something. So let's attach. to command line, source, execution. Where are we? Exec implementation. This execute to executes vim script multi-line block of X commands, like anonymous source. Unlike a vim command, this function supports your docs script scope. One execution error fails with vim script error updates. Error message. So those are mainly different commands. There were different commands executed, and that's why it hit also the breakpoint, but we don't care about these other commands actually. So let's see, what do we have here? This is the delete command. Which we're trying to execute here. So yeah, must be somewhere here, dash here, but actually could try to just remove this here. I'm not sure if this is needed. Yeah, I will look into it in the next one. So see you.